Hello, Child-Centered Australia. My name is Dr. Brenna Hicks, the Kid Counselor. I am in the Tampa Bay area of Florida in the U.S. And what an honor to have a moment to share with you. This is something that I am so truly passionate about, and I'm so grateful for the chance to share a little bit about my play therapy journey with you. I have been working in a group practice for almost 20 years, and I was an individual practitioner and then expanded into a group practice. We exclusively provide child-centered play therapy, and I have a team of therapists and an office manager, and we are deeply committed to the child-centered model, and we have just seen such impact in the community. I also am the host of the Play Therapy Podcast, which is a podcast for clinicians and other child-centered play therapists around the world. I'm the host of the Play Therapy Parenting Podcast, which is a parenting podcast specifically with a child-centered play therapy bent. So a lot of what we talk about is the play therapy skills effectively used as a parenting approach. I have an online community called the CCPT Collective, where we have people from all over the world that get together, and we have question boards and forums and live Zoom calls. We come together several times each week to meet live, and people are interacting, supporting each other, encouraging each other. That has been a really incredible opportunity for people around the world to understand what it means to be wholly child-centered and really embrace the model, and we're all extremely impassioned about that. One of my favorite resources for working with children is Brandy's Bag of Air, also known as Bobo. It is a large red cone-shaped inflatable object. It's essentially a punching bag, but it's created in Texas. Brandy is the founder of the product. She trained under Gary Landreth at the University of North Texas, and she realized that there was a need in the play therapy community for something that didn't exist. We wanted a toy that was universally used for all types of play, and we didn't really have access to one. And this is the sturdiest, most long-lasting, tenacious little thing that you can purchase. A lot of my Australian coaching participants have purchased one, and it's been shipped from Texas all the way to Australia. But it is an indestructible toy that is used in so many ways, and it really is just incredible. So the acronym is BOA, B-O-A, for Brandy's Bag of Air. And so if you are looking for a resource for your playroom that you know will be used in a variety of contexts for all kinds of kids, I would recommend that as a resource for sure. One of my greatest learnings as a child-centered play therapist is that we need a lot of trust to do this work. And what I mean by that is we have to trust the child to recognize that they have work to do, to know their issues, to know their struggles, and then to do something about that. So there's trust in the child's ability to self-actualize. There's trust on behalf of the parents, because parents have to be bought in, they have to be committed, they have to understand the process to the degree that they're able to. And they have to really commit to waiting out the process, because it doesn't happen overnight. And there's a patience that is required from a parent side of things as children are working and healing and growing. So we have to trust that parents are going to commit and invest. And then we have to trust ourselves. We have to know that we're capable and that we're competent, and that we are providing the time, the tools, and the opportunity that children need to do the work. And the child-centered model is predicated on the relationship. So at the very least, we have to trust in the power of the relationship that we create with the child. And then above all, kind of in the center of that, I kind of call that the triangle of trust between the child, the parent, and the therapist. But then in the center of all that is we have to trust child-centered play therapy. We have to trust the model. We have to trust its efficacy. And we have to know that if we just follow the CCPT method, we know the outcomes. We already have evidence and data that supports that it works. So sometimes when the pace is slow, sometimes when kids aren't following the traditional track, sometimes when we're getting pressure from parents or teachers or schools or principals that we need to talk to kids about something, as a child-centered play therapist, that undermines the theoretical model. So trusting in the child, the parent, ourselves, and in the model itself. I think that is something that I've learned to do. I think it used to be a struggle, and I think it's a struggle for a lot of us. But the more we're able to really hone in on that trust, it only serves us, our children, and our families. And my wish for the year ahead, for 2025, is that we see a new generation of child-centered play therapists raising up, taking leadership positions, being articulate, being confident, starting practices, growing practices, coaching, teaching, supervising, advocating, educating, all of the things that the world needs. People need to know about the power of child-centered play therapy. And I think that as a field, we have started to see the need for bold, courageous, knowledgeable CCPT therapists to stand up and take the reins and say, okay, let's take this further. And that would be my wish, is that we just see a whole new wave of child-centered play therapists that really take leadership positions and do some incredible things in their communities, and then of course globally as well. So Child-Centered Australia, it was so lovely to meet you. I hope at some point I might be able to come in person. I wish I could have made it. I'm actually at a different speaking engagement the same weekend that you all are meeting, but this is such an incredible time in the play therapy field, because there are more and more people developing a love for helping kids and really building skills and ensuring that we're doing the appropriate things at the appropriate times when we're in playrooms. So keep up the work. Sometimes I know it's difficult, but boy, is it worth it. Every day I'm thankful that this is my job, and I hope that you feel that passion and inspiration too. Thank you for being a part of Child-Centered Australia. I really do hope that at some point we can meet in person. Have a great time. Bye.